Here is the recap of the Season 3 of Rick and Morty. On an Earth already controlled by the Galactic Federation, Summer and Morty decide to rescue their grandfather from imprisonment. They dig up the corpses of Rick and Morty, whom the heroes buried in the 5th episode of the first season, and take the portal gun from the corpse. They first go to a universe where humans have turned into Cronenbergs, but from there they are taken away by Rick's council and sent to the Citadel. Meanwhile, while in prison, Rick is interrogated by an agent of the Galactic Federation and tries to find out the secret of the portal gun, but the hero manages to escape from prison by moving from one body to another. He learns that his grandchildren are in the council and teleports the entire Citadel directly to the Galactic Federation prison, which starts a war. Rick manages to save Morty and Summer, as well as destroy the economy of the Galactic Federation, causing it to abandon Earth. At the end of the episode, Beth dumps Jerry, and Rick confesses to Morty that he has been planning to get rid of the Federation and his father all along. While Beth and Jerry are getting divorced, Rick, Morty, and Summer go on another adventure to a planet similar to the movie Mad Max. They spend 3 months there, where the kids try to deal with the thought of their parents' divorce. When they return, they discover that Rick has created robocopies of them in their absence, so that Beth would not notice that the children are missing. Beth wants to take the kids and her father to see a family therapist, but Rick is reluctant to do so and turns himself into a pickle. He accidentally rolls into the sewer and has to somehow create an exoskeleton from the remains of cockroaches and rats. He gets out of the sewer but finds himself in the lair of some bandits, whom he begins to murder. In the end, having teamed up with a mercenary named Jaguar, he destroys all the bandits and still goes to a psychotherapy session with his family. Morty uses a coupon for another adventure of his own choosing. He makes Rick go off to help galactic heroes called the Vindicators, including Crocobot, Maximus, Renegade, Star, Soldier, Million Ants, Alan Ryle, Supernova, and of course a sidekick nicknamed Noob. The night before the mission to destroy the supervillain, Rick gets very drunk and destroys the villain himself, setting traps for the Vindicators to prove to Morty that they are arseholes. In the end, the Vindicators are sent on a mission and begin to die in the old man's traps. Yep, Rick manages to prove that they are no better than ordinary people, and only Supernova survives, who kills several of her friends, but she still manages to escape. Rick takes Jerry on an adventure, as Morty is worried that his father might put a bullet in his forehead from loneliness. They go to an amusement park where it is impossible to die, but one of the park's residents encourages Jerry to help him kill Rick. At the last moment, Jerry decides not to kill him and they leave the planet. Meanwhile, Summer tries to enlarge her breasts with a special enlarging laser, but she enlarges herself completely and destroys her skin. Beth does the same thing to herself to make peace with her daughter. Rick and Morty, after another rough adventure, decide they need to relax and go to a spa where they are offered to go through a psychological detox. It turns out that this device actually splits the mind into 2 parts. The calm and happy one leaves the spa, and the toxic personality is simply washed away. Toxic Ricky realized this, contacted the happy one and agreed to unite, but actually wanted to kill the happy version of himself. In the end, Rick does unite, but Morty doesn't want to, because after getting rid of toxicity he became successful, but Grandfather still unites Morty with his bad copy. In this episode, we are told what happened after our Rick destroyed the Rick Citadel. The Citadel is rebuilt and a new society begins to form there, with its own problems such as corruption among the Ricks and bad attitudes towards Morty. Soon there is an election for the head of the council, and one of the candidates is Morty. Eventually, Morty wins. He rebuilds the whole system for himself, killing the people who get in his way. And we find out that it is the same evil Morty with the eye patch from the 10th episode of Season 1. After another adventure, Morty asks to have traumatic memories erased from his mind, and Rick takes him to a special room for this purpose. The boy learns that he has already had his memory erased more than once, and realizes that sometimes they were erased not at his request. A fight breaks out and the heroes accidentally lose their memories completely. They begin to take turns watching their memories to figure out who they are, but further turn themselves against each other. However, Summer comes along and restores their memories, making them forget the last few hours. Beth learns from her father that when she was a child, he created a world for her where she spent all her time, and it turns out there's been a man stuck there ever since, who, in order to survive, had sex with cartoon creatures and then ate their children. Beth blames her father for all this, but Rick informs his daughter that she was that crazy kid in this world he created to protect other people from her. The girl tries to save the guy from this world, but he resists and she has to kill him. Back home, Rick offers his daughter two options. He can create her a clone that will replace her here, and she will go traveling through space, or she will have to stay with her family and live a normal life. Meanwhile, we are told the story of Jerry, who started dating an alien woman, and his life seemed to get better. But in fact, he remained a loser, and his children are once again convinced of it. The President of the United States asks Rick and Morty to help deal with the creature in the basement of the White House. The heroes are not happy that they are called as some kind of ghost hunters, and plus the president refused to take selfies with Morty. They decide not to help the government and leave, causing the United States to declare war on Rick. Meanwhile, Beth walks with Summer and begins to suspect that she is actually the clone Rick suggested she create in the previous episode. She reconnects with Jerry, and together with the children they hide from Rick as he starts to overreact. But Rick accepts defeat, makes peace with the president, and the family is reunited once again. This is the end of the Season 3. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the like button. Thanks for watching, goodbye!